let me then start with the end point, right? How NBS helps you develop your careers, right? So with that, let me just ask, and given that Linda at the end, who's our director for the Academy of Career Excellence, is responsible for the 4,000 graduates under the charge of the business school, right? In developing their careers, helping them and mentoring them towards a good job, right? So with that, maybe Linda, can you spend some time explaining your role in your
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us today. My name is Linda, and I am the director of the Academy for Career Excellence. Now, why are we called NBS ACE? And that's a short form, okay? So if you Google us, you can find NBS ACE on LinkedIn, NBS Academy for Career Excellence. We want to provide career development services, career development journeys for you that will be the best in class and to be a leading practice in it. Now, what we do in my team, myself, and of course I have a team of people that are helping me, we actually we let you understand from your journey in business school, when you start at the business school, at your very first year, we bring you on a career journey. Your journey is to understand about your strengths. Your journey would be to understand about industry out there, and we will curate industry networking sessions to let you meet industry practitioners who are also currently, could be our alumni, industry people, who would share with you their experiences of their career journeys, but also their challenges as they maneuver in their career journeys as well. So we bring in all these practical, what we call experiences to you. You will be having a really good time studying all the wonderful subjects. And sometimes we will help you to join the dots. Why are you studying this subject? And why do you need to study this subject? In order to prepare and get yourself ready for the career that you want, for the career start that you want. At the business school, we also want our students to explore, experience, and also understand and get an exposure of the industry when you start. So I know all of you are sitting down here, and you could be coming from Polytechnic or from the JCs or from other schools, right? And when you're in the school, we're kind of far away in Jurong, as you know. We, at the first year, will bring you and we will let you meet industry partners. And that is also through what we call a professional attachment. That would be an internship that you'll be doing at the end of year one. I know it sounds scary to some people, but fear not, okay? We have many of our students in our year one who are able to secure a professional attachment, which is credit-bearing, but at the same time, the most beneficial part of it is that they get an exposure to the industry, they get an exposure to corporate life. And corporate life is a very, very big thing out there. And when you get an industry, when you get exposure to corporate life, it means that you understand what the working world is like, how the working world behave, right? Especially you learn about values, corporate ethics, behaviors at workplace, and more importantly, you are an intern. Remember, there will be many people out there who are willing to teach you and lead you on this journey as well. So exposure is really very important in your first year, and with that professional attachment or professional internship in your first year, your journey actually starts on a very, what we call, you have access to information, you have access to people. We also curate a number of very, what we call industry panel discussions for you. So as students, you have your academic skills, but we bring to you what we call business excellence skills, human skills, as well as technical skills. This is through a course that we run for all our students, only at the business school, okay, for our students at the business school. The human skills element is so important, and this will be what we call the soft skills of today. How do we do that? You get to take modules, you get to take what we call short courses on developing your human skills. You get to choose courses on developing your business excellence skills. For instance, we have business excellence skills on product management. And maybe some of you may not know this word yet. Even I had to learn what product management was. And how do I learn what product management was? I'm not an expert in everything. right? So as a person who wants to know what is product management, it is a really good career to start off in. And there are many technology companies that offer product management. What do you do? Do you produce a product? Do you manage a product? We bring in the real industry experts. For example, we have TikTok teaching you about product management. Most of you will think, oh, well, TikTok is a social media company. What has it got to do with product management? TikTok is a technology company that produces a lot of products, as we call products, right, for TikTok. And you can attend our class. It's a class and learn about how do you become a product manager, what are the steps to become a product manager. But even if you are not interested, what is product management in the first place? So these are the classes that we bring you, for example, for business excellence. And technical skills, we would also allow you to register for technical skills classes. It could be Tableau, it would be SHL assessment, visualization. We come from what we call giving our students a very level playing platform for you to have access. So as students here, if you are taking part in our new courses, you will also have access to these courses. An accountancy student, a business student can attend any of these classes, which is business excellence skills, human skills, and technical skills. Our mentoring programs are fantastic. A lot of students and alumni, have benefited from it. We run a mentoring program, and at the first year, you also can have a mentor. Why is a mentor important, or a few mentors important? Because they have experience, and they are willing to come back and share their experiences. They are willing to tell you, their paths that they've walked on, and they can give you guidance on your career as well. So these are some of the activities at ACE that we would be sharing with you. We would be asking you to join us, and we want to walk on this career journey with you.
Thank you very much, Linda. So that's a very nice setup for the panel here, right? One thing that Linda was trying to allude to is that we at the business school are trying to figure out what the workforce will be like, right, 3 to 4 years down the road, and start preparing you for today, right, for that kind of environment. As you know, the world is changing very fast, so whatever's new today may become obsolete or irrelevant by the time you graduate, right? So having said that, and how technology then impacts this, let's maybe I'll put Prem on the spot here and get her to talk briefly about the future role of the accountant, right? The narrative out there is that accounting is going to get obsolete with the introduction with artificial intelligence and all. But that, I think, is a very myopic view of the accounting profession. So maybe to give you a sense of what accountants and accountants of the future will really be doing. Prem?
Okay, sorry, thanks, Damien. Yes, so I think that is a misconception that we need to move away from, because technology, whatever it is, it's to enable you to make decisions, to obtain business insights, all right? And that human element and that judgment aspect, be it in accounting, in audit, in risk management, etc., will continue to remain forever and ever, all right? So to be an accountant of today is to be a strategic thinker, a business advisor, a trusted business partner, all right? Someone that the company can come to and ask you for insights, etc. And if you're the chief financial officer, that more people will look up to you in order to give them a sense of the strategic direction, etc. And technology, evolution of technology is basically to enable you to fulfill your tasks better. All right, so the mundane aspects will be automated. However, the high-end activities would still need a lot of judgment and decision making, and that no one can ever take from you, all right? So on top of it as well, you see, whether you're an accountant or an auditor or a risk management, whatever it is, and a chartered accountant, people are coming to you for advice. So interpersonal skills, your ability to get along with people from different cultures and teams, all of that You cannot just delegate that to, even if it's an AI system, it's only so much, all right? So that personal touch is important for business decisions. And I think for Singapore to be a financial hub, we do need a very healthy pipeline of high caliber accountancy students coming out into the market. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks very much, Prem. So then let me ask Ernie the same question, right? You spoke about how the finance professional of the future, right, requires a very strong and deep expertise in the technology. It's just not the financial knowledge as well. Could you elaborate on that then?
Yep. So let's take a counter argument to that as well, right? So a computer engineer or a software engineer without any good finance knowledge will find it very hard to program a fintech product. So some of you may have heard of like the decentralized finance tokens, right? So to design such a token, just having programming skills alone is not enough, right? The same thing, if I have finance knowledge, I know how financial markets work, right? I want to design something that is more, decentralized, for example, and then if I don't have an appreciation of what decentralization is, how the technology works, it's very hard for me to actually create something as well. And there's a learning curve in that process. And we see a lot of banks actually learning in this process as well, right? So MAS has worked very closely with the banks over the last 5 years. The banks have been doing a lot of different projects together with MAS to experiment on how to use blockchain for digital asset tokenization. And that's something very interesting. Because like MAS, like the government, right, is supporting something like a crypto, right? But the MD has made it very clear they support this sort of innovations, but they don't support investments in cryptocurrency as well, right? So but then like if you now were to apply for a job in a bank, the exciting roles and the new roles are going to be about this stuff, right? It's going to be about, how do I create a new product now with blockchain, right? And that the bank can sell, and that the bank can provide better and new services to their customers, right? And if you graduate from one of these, then you're primed to actually, can do well in your interviews maybe, and then to get into the role too.
Yeah, it's interesting that both the accountant of the future as well as the finance professional or the computing professional of the future requires interdisciplinary skills. I've got about maybe 10, 15 minutes more, and I thought I would open it up to the audience. If you have any burning questions for Linda, Prem, or Ernie, or even myself, right, as Associate Dean of the Business School, I have Celeste walking around with a mic. So if you have any burning questions, please raise your hand, right? Don't be shy. Yeah. Oh, has to be right at the back. Go ahead, man. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, with the mic will be better.
Okay. For the student who are actually graduating at about 4 or 5 years' time, entering into the market, where AI and digital development evolutions are moving so quickly, how are you integrating them into that value-added stage, or and not going into what I call, because it's constantly evolving. So how are you, they can't get to a CFO, obviously, value-adding stage, which is just described so early, so quickly. But as a young, graduates entering into the market, how will they pursue this career path? How do you think you're able to describe more on that?
Okay, I think as far as the organizations themselves are concerned, they have already been leveraging on technology. So when students go in, they will be asked to utilize that in order to help them make better decisions. And say, for example, simple things in accounting like bank reconciliations are now automated. They can use RPA to do that. So in that sense, what you will look out for are anomalies. and you tend to focus on that. So it's a skill set that I wouldn't say all organizations have done it, but a lot of them are moving along those lines, including the big 4 public accounting firms. So they're trying to get the young graduates to apply these skill sets to gather the business insights rather than to do more mundane things. And progressively, that will enable you to reach the path that we are looking out for, which is to be your CFO or CEO, etc. Yeah?
And maybe to add to that, right, the robotic process automation that the RPA that Prem talked about, right, these skills are becoming almost a utility, not only in the accounting profession, but also in the finance, in the analytics, in the marketing, right? So the move towards digital transformation is there, right? Simply because the drivers here are increased workload due to reducing workforce participation, right, through shrinking population and stuff like that. So there is work to be done. That work needs to be still maintained, right? So getting past the routine, the automation of routine tasks, what does that leave you, right? That leaves you with the higher order decision-making skills, which currently the technology cannot help with, right? The introduction of AI, we are starting to automate decision-making, but this decision-making is structured. It is based on a certain set of fixed criteria, certain set of rules, right? So as an IT professional, I was developing these types of artificially intelligent programs way back in the 1990s, right? So it comes to the point where what is remaining is very complex problems that require interpersonal skills, require multidisciplinary skills, which the AI cannot handle at this point in time, right? Take a look at your, I'm sure most of you have used ChatGPT in school, right? What can it deliver? It delivers the illusion of intelligence. Right? It is not intelligent per se, but it delivers the illusion of intelligence because these large language models or ChatGPTs are predicting the next probable word, right, or element, right, given its training data. Right? So we are going back to almost what is out there and what is the most probable thing that people are saying. Right? You want to be creative, you want to be innovative, right? The technology at this point or in the near future will not be able to do that for you. I hope that answers your question, ma'am.
Sorry, I just want to add on to what Damien said as well. So this new program, we are not just focusing on the analytics dimension and equipping the students, but also entering the new space on sustainability. So that is a growing space, and they are predicting that so many people will be needed in this particular space, and we are trying to equip our students to be prepared to embrace that. Yes.
Well, that's a good question. Any other burning question? Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so hi, Dr. Ernie. I find your slides very interesting. So one of your slides include how you guys are doing multiple surveys with existing large financial institutions such as JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, GIC. And I'm just wondering if the new intakes of applied computing in finance were to come in, especially for their internships and stuff, what would be the likelihood that they are able to join those international firms?
Yep.
Thank you.
So,
and also I have a follow-up, thanks. Later, sorry.
So yeah, we are actually working very closely with the Monetary Authority of Singapore as well as the Singapore FinTech Association. Of course, we also have a board of advisors for the program as well to advise on the kind of curriculum we put into the program, because as we all know, FinTech is constantly changing and there's new things coming. So every year we will have a review with this board, and they will advise us on what new things we should introduce in our program. And of course, these people will be coming from the big banks and places that you may want to get hired in or get an internship in. And of course, they will definitely help in providing the internships as well. Right? So of course, that's still a few years down the road, but we will definitely try to bring in more interesting internships for you guys.
Yeah, just hold on for your follow-up.
I wanted to add that we definitely will not put their names up there for nothing. So these degree programs was designed and curated also together with these organizations, of which we have a very deep relationship with, GIC, JP Morgan, OCBC, etc., that you see up there. And because they have been actually hiring our students already in various roles, in investment banking, in private banking, etc., they have also come to us and say, can you give us the next group of students for this business? We need these students because they're so good. But as students and coming into the workforce, we also want them to have other skill sets. And we want to tell you that these skill sets are going to be in these areas. So the whole program was also designed together with an industry request coming, and with industry feedback, which is why we have the review committees and all that, and working very closely together. And of course, we have already started we have our work cut out. I've got my work cut out for me. Because, with today, in a few months' time, in fact, in a few weeks' time, we will be talking to these employers again who were on our, panels before that when we created this program.
Your follow-up question?
Yeah. So my follow-up question is, NTU is a technology school that has a business school in it, NBS, and right now, recently the GES 2024 results just came out, and I'm just wondering, how do you think that NTU is going to leap forward versus SMU or NUS in terms of employability and starting salary? I'm sure you guys have the secret sauce
That's her responsibility.
It's not a secret sauce. And maybe I should reveal the secret, right? The deep secret that we have. For a 4-year degree program, our Bachelor of Computer Science and Business is actually the leader in the salary. Okay, but I think, you all have long career journeys, right? We do not want you to look at a university and say, oh, I want to pick the university that gives me the best salary or the best job, right? Because everybody is different here. You have a different role, and you have different strengths for industry as well. But as I say, to the secret, right, there is not a secret. Our 4-year degree has the highest salary among all the business schools, Bachelor of Computer Science and Bachelor of Business. And we see this as going to be a competition as well to our 4-year degree. For employability, we also have the best employment rates in Singapore amongst all the universities, according to the GES. This is from GES. Our employment rate is actually the highest among all the 4 universities as well. Hope that answers your question.
And this is for the full-time employment rate, right? Even for single degrees, right?
Yes, single degrees and double degrees for full-time employment rate.
So, yeah. Any other burning questions? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hello. So actually, it's interesting that Ms. Ong mentioned the double degree program, because my question pertains to, given this new degree program of applied computing and finance, it sounds relatively similar to the existing double degree program of business and computer science or computer engineering. So I was interested to find out in how does the new degree differ, and what are the potential benefits of someone entering this new degree program as compared to an existing well-established program.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent question.
Yep. So the double degree is more general in nature. You get to take different courses from both the business school as well as the computer science side. Whereas this bachelor's in applied computing and finance, right, is actually very tailor-made for fintech in particular. Like Prof. Damien mentioned earlier, this is the fintech degree, right? So we custom choose the courses for you to go in a particular direction to become a fintech professional. So that is one of the key differences as well, right? And there's more space to do longer internships and stuff like that as well under this 4-year program.
So going back to the broader question that's driving your that specific question is one where our current programs serve a very general purpose, right? Like our 3-year accountancy program is a general degree, a general accountancy degree that affords, right, graduates the opportunity to go into multiple industries, right? So does the double degree in business and computer science and engineering as well, right? At the same time, there is also a need for domain specialized professionals, right? Hence, we are developing the fintech degree for the fintech industry, and the accountancy for future leaders is specific to those who intend to already get into the role of a chartered accountant, right? Which then goes on to afford a career as a CFO or CEO or, in those areas, right? So there is, while we were focusing on a very general approach, it is now becoming clear that the industry also requires professionals with a very specialized, right, skill sets in certain areas, right? So that's the kind of approach that we are now taking. Good question. Thank you. Any other questions that you might have? I can do one, maybe one. Celeste, one last question? Or do we have time for more? One last question. Right. Anybody? Last chance? Okay. If not, you will always have the opportunity to meet us over lunch and discuss, right? Maybe then I can close off by any final words from Ernie, Prem, and Linda, right, about anything that you might want to address in closing this. Go ahead.
Okay. With the Accountancy for Future Leaders program, it was actually initiated by a committee that was set up, the Accountancy Workforce Review Committee, that comprised of the Ministry of Finance, ACRA, academics, etc. And this was a certain direction that they wanted the schools to take as well. And so we kind of stepped forward to come up with this 4-year program, which is to basically have a pipeline of future leaders in the accountancy profession. So as Damien has been highlighting over again, that it is all industry-led initiatives, all right, and to meet the demands that are currently in Singapore. Yeah.
So something I always tell my students, if you want to be a finance student now, and you want to get a job in the future, you need to know some tech, right? So, and therefore, I encourage you to apply for this program. And we're very happy to share with you not just what finance is, what computer science is, but how to bring these two worlds together and innovate on these to come up with products that benefit mankind and to do good as well.
Linda?
I want to leave you with these words, right? So we at the Academy for Career Excellence ACE, we will work with you in your journey, right, for your career aspirations. By joining us and coming to the school, it is actually it's a testament, right, to our deep roots with industry, and as well as our long history, which is the business school within Nanyang Technological University.
Right. With that, thank you very much, my panelists, right, Ernie, Prem, and Linda. Right. So now I think we have come to the end of this panel, and at this point, oh, go ahead.